Hey guys, Coolio here, and I'm with Brandon, who's sitting on the left. This is the final table of the Wisconsin Regionals, and Brandon went into this match undefeated. Your only non-victory was against Patrick. You guys did an intentional draw.
Yeah, we intentional draw, so we got to have the match here on the final table, which was nice.
Did you have any problems with any decks on your way to this final?
The game before this one was a little tough. It was against Barra Fealty.
Who was that, Tim?
Yep, it was against Tim, but I was able to keep Stannis off the table, which was the key factor in that game. So this was on a mulligan for me, and so I was pretty nervous when I was shuffling. When you're at a final table and you have to take a mulligan, you get pretty worried. But I was able to get a solid setup
there.
That's a Jaime that's pretty glared out, a Bastard Daughter, and a whatever that's called, the Blood
Drove.
The Martell,
not important.
The Martell Reducer.
Yeah. Looks like he has a Tyrion, a Burnman, Reducer, and a Gold Location. That's not a bad setup at all.
It's not a bad setup, and I was actually kind of worried at this point because my deck is actually it's very heavy on first snow, and the fact that he had Tyrion to give him extra gold and a Burnman that he could ambush in on the first turn snow was like, all right, we're going to see how this game goes.
All right, what plot were you thinking about doing here?
For this deck, my typical opener is the long plan. I sometimes did something different depending on the matchup. But if he didn't start with a Burnman, I would maybe think of doing a first snow. But
that's a long plan.
That is definitely the long. That is the long plan that I opened up with, and he's summonings. And so I remember when he summons, I know his deck plays Mira Mazdur, Tywin, the Mountain. He's playing all these big cost characters, and all he was able to find was the Hound, which was unfortunate for him.
Because it's still a good character.
It's still a good character, but I do think at this point of the tournament, I think he knows I'm a first snow deck.
Yeah.
And so even though he does have Tyrion, though, which makes him, he could probably still play him on my first snow turn.
Got that alt art Tyrion. I like that art a little bit more.
I am not a big fan, but and I think that's why you commented on it.
Yeah.
So I am 90% sure I made him go first because I won initiative.
Yes. It's not really surprised that a Martell player wants to go second.
Yeah. So there were multiple times that I wanted to go first throughout the tournament, though.
No spearman in your hand?
I think I did, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know I had 2 vengeances, so I thought that was going to help if I had a first snow, because making your opponent eat their military claim on a first snow.
It's important to note, Brandon is playing Martell Lannister, and Patrick's playing Lannister Targ.
Targ, yep. That is important to point out. So Patrick here has 5 gold and a reducer. So I knew he couldn't play a Tywin unless he had a Keen's Road. So I was happy about that. And so my strategy for this turn was to basically kind of save up some gold and have a good first snow turn on the next turn.
Looks like he's popping out all those first
snow
and
reducers. I am totally okay with him doing that.
Yeah. Notice Patrick just won the Dance of Dragons tournament in New York, the first one.
Yep,
so
we got a cool
playmat.
Yep. I like my playmat too, though. I got some Magali signed forehead.
Love that.
Yep, and then I saw him play another 3-cost character, so as long as it's not duped, I like that too.
Yeah, this doesn't look good for first now.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got that Burnman you can put in to help Tyrion.
Yep.
But...
And he saved 2 gold, so that can mean a lot of different things.
So now you play your highest cost characters here, right?
Yes, I had 4 gold and a reducer, and I was actually glad he didn't treachery this because I was able to play an Emhyr and dupe her.
Woo!
Yeah, and that was really good.
Now I'm guessing you're going to be sniping that intrigue icon.
Yes, and so if you can see my hand, which unfortunately we don't have the sound on, so you can't hear me flicking my cards.
They'll be able to hear the sound. We can.
Oh, okay. So I do have a Tears in my hand, but I don't have a gold, but I do have the long plan.
So he just needs to. You'll let any.
So I just need him to win a challenge.
Would you even let a military go just because you got that dupe?
I have a Bastard Daughter that's gonna leave on a first snow turn.
Were you scared of that? Were you scared of that 2 gold though for put to the sword with Jaime?
I was actually considering like what if he had a put to the sword, but he also only had 1 military icon at the time. So I did take right there when I was pointing. I did take Tyrion's intrigue icon.
So he has to intrigate with Pascal if he wants to get that 2 gold.
And that's what I wanted.
Which he needs.
Yep. I knew I wanted to Tears Tyrion if I could anyways, and if not, I wanted to make sure that he couldn't stealth past me for the intrigue either. So Yep, so he has 2 gold, so that means he can ambush something in. I also was worried because he had 2 gold. I didn't know his deck at the time. I purposely made sure I didn't like watch any of his games. But right here, I was going to let this go into pose so I could get the gold. And I just hoped that Tears wasn't pulled. But I also was hoping that he doesn't play Trial by Combat.
Yes.
Because I have not many characters on the board.
You have to lose a character.
But I did let the entry go on a pose, so I got that gold, which will end up being very important.
Hopefully that Tears doesn't get pulled.
He did pull one of my Vengeance, but I did have a backup
Your favorite
one.
card.
It's up there. It is definitely up there. It did very good things all tournament long.
Now, I've been playing with you for a long time, first edition and second, and you are a very Martel player. Martel is
I got a soft
house.
spot for him.
So he looks like he's powering you for 1.
Yep, which I don't think is the right call when I have a long plan. Yeah. 1 power early in the game is not going to make as big of a difference.
Since you have 2 gold now for Put to the Sword.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things I can do with 1 gold or with 2 gold.
Yeah.
And I don't think he does a military challenge, which I thought was interesting.
So you're militarying for 6.
Yep, so now it's my challenges. I'm doing military 6. That
Jamie
white card is a Jamie.
Yeah. Heavenly Jamie.
When you have a Tears that you know you want to play, you want to do the military first, so that unless you're up against Stark, which blew me in the Minnesota regional, because I tried to do the same type of thing, but you want to get that military claim out of the way first before, or else they'll just kill their Tears guy. And so now he has Tyrion with just a power icon left on the board. And I got 2 gold that will carry over to the next turn.
So he does have 4 gold for the Hound to put him out.
Yep, which was what I was thinking he was doing.
So you do an intrigue.
Yep.
Now he should be triggering the Tyrion first.
Yep, he forgot to take 2 gold, which we'll spoil in a second here about what he could have done. But he should have 2 more gold right now, but he forgot his trigger. He put the Hound out of play because he didn't want to.
He got that Tears on Tyrion.
Yep, and I Tears. And we'll find out later in the game that he had a Hand's Judgment. And he was very upset about that, but I also had my own Hand's Judgment to cancel it, which made him feel a little better after the fact. But, yep, so I knew I was going to kill Tyrion. And if you look at the board right now, what do you see on Patrick's side?
First no.
All first no targets. And I have a Duke, Nymeria, and a Jamie on the board. And I pulled his Seal, which when he's playing 3 big characters, is great to get out.
Now, if he is running it, I don't know if Patrick is running March, but if you have run March, you'd run it now, right? Because you know you're going to play first snow on you.
I mean,
so at least he can trigger. Oh, you can
he
get
just
rid
gets
of,
a bastard
Bastard
dot. Yeah, he just gets a bastard dot. Which is why I was surprised he didn't do a military at me with the Klansman guy.
Yeah. Now, Forgotten Plans will save his butt here when that comes
Forgotten
up.
Plans would be a play right here.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, though, because if you're a first no deck, you kind of have to, like, would you hold off? Would you hold off for a turn? Because even right now, if I had to hold off for a turn, in the long run, I think I'd be fine.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so Patrick's going to look for another character.
Yep, he's summonings again.
You flip first snow.
That was his double plot.
And it looks like you're making him first player.
Yep. First snow is weird because there is a good amount of times that I want to go first just to get, like, guy out of the way or whatnot. But I knew I had a Red Vengeance, or Vengeance for Elia.
Red Vengeance.
Sorry. A Vengeance for Elia, so I knew if he did a military at me, I could just make him have to kill a character before my challenges even.
So it's like he's grabbing his own Jamie.
Yep. And he's going to have 5 gold with 2 Targaryen reducers.
I was surprised he got rid of the
Lannister one. Yeah.
Maybe he
I wonder if he had a Mazdur in his hand.
Or he could have been looking for a Mazdur since he's going first.
Yeah, that could be too. But I don't think a Mazdur would have been a problem because I could have just taken her power icon and she couldn't have won a challenge against me anyways.
But it'd force you to kneel your board.
It would have. Or just Vengeance it.
Yeah.
Yep, and
you're playing ×3 Vengeance that day,
playing
right?
×3, and it was great all day. I even pulled all 3 off in 3 turns once against one player.
Greyjoy, right?
Yeah.
Against our Knight of Laughing Tree.
Yep. So I get 1 extra gold, so I'm going to have 4 gold plus a reducer on my turn, and he's going to have 5 gold and 2 Targaryen.
I was watching this, and I was worried you were going to get rid of that gold, because I saw you almost do that in an earlier match.
I almost did it in one match, yeah.
The judge had to step in.
So my opponent just passed. He had 5 gold, though, so I knew he could ambush in either the Hound or the Burnman. He unfortunately was 1 short of being able to do both, which would have made a difference. I duped Jamie, which is always nice. And I will try to get out another character here. I think if I had a Burn Man, I would probably just do that. But I want to make sure I have a something to get rid of for a if my opponent's playing March to the wall. And so at this point, Patrick knows he's in a tough spot. And he just shook his hand because it's not a big deal in the long run, but it sucks when you're at the final table and you're making mistakes. But he forgot to play the Rose Road.
Yeah.
So I also got to play a Pal Spearman.
which has an intrigue icon.
It does have an intrigue icon.
Ooh, and then Patrick picks up his board.
Yep. And I know since he's first, and this is kind of why I did it because I have Nymeria, no matter what he puts into play, if he wants to try to do a challenge, I can just take out the icon that I'm
So I think
more
he's just going to
afraid of.
pass here.
He does just pass. And so I use the Palace Spearman as for the intrigue challenge.
And you can't ambush that Hound in yet, right?
No, because I have Nymeria in.
She can't take anyone's icons right now.
Nope. And unfortunately, I can't take any of my own icons. Yeah. and this is when we talk about how he had that last turn. I don't tell him now, obviously, but after the fact, he finds out that I had one. Just do a military with Jamie, get unopposed. My deck's not very good at getting power fast, but it really doesn't matter as long as you're winning all the challenges.
Yeah.
So even though my deck won't close the game real quick, I'm feeling very comfortable right now. Basically, at this point, I'm going, just don't F this up. Don't think anything really dumb. I did kind of screw up because I could have done the intrigue with Jamie and the power with this Palace Spearman.
Yeah.
That was kind of dumb, but... Yep, and now he has to just get rid of a bunch of Chud characters.
You cannot just throw the Hound out because
I could just take an icon. He didn't...
or even after
March,
the challenges, yeah.
Well, there's actually, like, if he takes an action to put the Hound into play, we're still in the challenge phase. And so I could have taken an icon and then done another challenge. Yeah. So, yep. So with only a reserve of 7, he's got a bunch of characters.
So, Pycelle, yeah.
Just looking at it, and nothing crazy. Had a bunch of Chud characters. So now I'm okay if I have to march away a Palace Spearman. It's not the end of the world. I got rid of my Wildfire.
Wildfire to get initiative?
Yeah. No, this was just I know it's going to be a plot. I'm not going to need this game. So and I had nothing other. Like I could have counted coppers just to get more cards, but I kind of just wanted to get it out of the way.
So it's like he plopped down trading Pentoshi.
Yep.
He's going to get 10. You're going to get 7 gold.
Yep.
Well, he'll get 11 gold.
Yeah, sure. Could have been 12 if you played
yeah.
Yep.
It's the best plot I think he could have played that turn to get any sort of comeback money.
It's tough though when I have this big of a board and you're also giving me extra money too.
And I don't know if he knows this. You could have been playing Naval too, and that would have been devastating.
That would have probably ended the game.
Yeah. There's that Tywin.
There is Tywin, so that's
anything can get you back. It's Tywin.
Yep. Yeah. Jorah's not bad either, and I know he has a Burnman, so he can put that at least into play. All right, so I got some more gold, and got a Gaston, so I know he can't attack me with Tywin. I Greenblood Trader. I should have done that first. Just you never know what's gonna happen.
You're too excited.
Yep. And spoiler alert, I get a Tears, and I still have Nymeria.
That's disgusting.
Yes. So at this point, I was feeling like it's pretty much game.
Plenty of gold left still.
Yep, I have plenty of gold. I think I might have had my own Hound actually in my hand.
Just took Tywin's
intrigue. I just took Tywin's intrigue. That was the only thing I really cared about.
He's passing.
He passed challenges. Yep, and I just wanted to make sure I won this challenge, so I just attacked intrigue with everything. He defends. I Tears, and that's game. Yep. It sucks that at the final table Patrick's deck performed that way, but my hand was great. I had a ton of answers. I had Vengeances. I had Gaston. I had all my key characters except for Ariane, but yeah, it was a tough game for Patrick.
Tears with Nymeria were just they did it.
Yep.
All right, Brandon, congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you.
You're officially the prince now of Martell.
Yeah, it feels good to finally actually get a regional win. So,
thanks for taking the time for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Massacre. Oh, shoot.